Oh hey, you found me. If you are new here, my name is Lal, and I want to show you stores, restaurants, and experiences at the Mall of America to help you plan your visit. In this video, we are going to go to Onionhead's Revenge. It's a new haunted experience at the Mall of America. Let's first start talking about theming. The theming is based off of Slidell, Louisiana. And yes, that is an actual place. I did a Google Maps and it looks kind of like it's across the bridge or from a bridge from New Orleans. So that was pretty interesting. I did see an interview with the creative director on a local news channel, and he said that the CEO of American Monsters, that's the company that's hosting this event, is actually from Slidell, Louisiana. Alright, let's talk about theming. I was actually impressed by the theming. I didn't know what to expect, but this wasn't it. This is way up there with the theming from something like Universal Studios' Halloween Horror Nights. So I was pleasantly surprised. There are wrought iron gates that lead you into the lobby, and to the left is the ticketing area, which they cleverly call the visiting center. To the right is the gift shop called Stitches. Ahead of that, also on the right, is Vern's Moonshine, which is a bar, and you can actually get alcoholic drinks there. Across from Vern's Moonshine is the snack shop, which represents a convenience store, and that is called Drinks, Gas, Snacks. As you move further into the lobby area, there is a welcome sign. It says "Welcome to Slidell," and there's a car with a skeleton in it. There is a little, I don't know, I guess it'd be kind of like a little market area for like a fortune teller and things like that. And that was pretty interesting. I had to go check that out, of course. Across from that area is a little dock area where they have a boat. The boat is empty, so I don't know if there's an actual story related to that, but it could just be there for flavor. But it was really well done. So yes, I was very impressed with the theming. Let me know in the comments if you've been to something similar to this, something like Halloween Horror Nights or Knott's Scary Farm. While you immerse yourself in all the details of the theming, they have scare actors going around immersing you even further into the Onionhead Revenge story. I will say that the staff at the bar and the snack shop and the ticketing center and the gift shop, they were all awesome. So you guys were doing a great job on your first night. As far as the experience itself, I was unable to record in there just because they have certain rules, and I completely understand that. We don't want the scare actors in danger. Also, another part of that is that this is a no-touch haunt. You may bump into some of the scare actors, like when I was kind of rearranging myself, I accidentally bumped into some of them. That is perfectly fine and perfectly normal, but do not grab any of them, do not touch any of them. But bumping into them by accident is perfectly understandable. And in turn, the scare actors will not intentionally touch you. So just keep that in mind. The entrance to the haunt is very noticeable. It's a round entrance and it looks kind of like a tunnel. Once you go through the tunnel portion, they have roped switchbacks that you go through, and then you wait there. During this time period, they have a pre-show. During this pre-show, this is a good point to bring up where you get to hear some of the actual soundtrack that they made. It's a special soundtrack just for this event, so you get to hear some of that soundtrack as the artist performs. So I was brave enough to go through this myself, but I realized that they were splitting people up into groups, and there was a group in front of me, so I asked them if I could be part of their group when they let the group go through the haunt. And they were kind enough to let me join them. They told me I was brave, but I said, I'm not that brave because I'm asking to be part of the group. So once our time came, there are rules on the wall, and it's the rules like don't touch the scare actors, no videography or pictures. So you can read the rules, and then they let you go in. And the second scene is really, really cool, and I don't want to spoil it just because it's so cool. Then you go through, and you go through the maze. The sets are so detailed. It is so cool. I would love it if they did, like at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, they let you buy tickets to see the sets with all the lights on, and they go through and talk about how the artists made these sets. I would love that if they did that here and talked a little bit more about the story. Going through the maze, I didn't feel like there were a lot of jump scares, but it definitely had a very creepy vibe. And I will say that this experience is for people 10 and up, so I don't expect a lot of jump scares on something like this. The lobby and the haunt all have clues and explain the story. Going through the haunt, I did understand what was happening, but I know that there was definitely details that I was missing. It's hard to think of the story when there's so much going on in the actual haunt. I went on the first night, and I feel like the scare actors did a really great job. They definitely creeped me out by blowing on my neck and looking at me ominously. Some of them were begging for help, which added to the creepiness. While I was in the haunt with my little group, thank you again, we did come across a bar that was inside the haunt, and you could actually go in there, order drinks, and sit down with your group. How cool is that? They also have scare actors in there that you can interact with. My group did talk about whether or not we should stay in there and get some drinks, but we decided to move along. At the end, you can take a picture. They have a mural that says Onionhead's Revenge. I'll put a picture here. For the opening night of a haunted attraction, I had a lot of fun. And like I said, there wasn't a lot of jump scares, but it definitely had that creepy vibe going for it. Once again, I'd like to thank the group that allowed me to join them as we wandered Onionhead's Revenge. Once I survived the Revenge of Onionhead, I met up with my husband at Vern's Moonshine. From the bar, we got a can of Starry and hard Mountain Dew, which is something we've never tried before. Over at the drinks, gas, and snacks area, we got some pralines. And they are from New Orleans. Cool, huh? Here is a photo of our snacks and drinks. We thought that the pralines were actually very good. They are $4 a piece, and I thought that was a little much because they're small. The Starry was good, and the hard Mountain Dew, we'd never get that again. It wasn't really our thing. It just, I don't know, the flavors kept changing. It was really strange to us. So anyway, we will never get that again, which is fine. I'm sure somebody out there likes it. In the one picture, I have the QR code for the menu, so feel free to scan that and look at the menu. Once we were finished with our snacks, we decided to go check out the gift shop. The gift shop is called Stitches, and it is based off of a tailor's shop, which was really cool because they had sewing machines around the shop, and they also had old hutches. Well, I don't know if they were old, but they had hutches, and they had some of the merchandise in there. And of course, for adding extra creep factor, they had some porcelain dolls in the hutches, which was kind of a nice touch. I'm not really sure what dolls have to do with a tailor's shop, but I won't be too picky on that. Some of the merchandise that you could get were t-shirts, hoodies for the cool weather. It's perfect hoodie weather right now. They had hats, candles, and then they were like little keychain voodoo dolls. And I know that there were some people looking at those, so yeah, check that out. So, are you interested in getting creeped out and seeing the amazing sets? Well, the cool thing is that you can go to the lobby. So you can go to the bar, you can get the snacks, you can visit the gift shop, all for free. You can all check that out and see the awesome theming in the lobby. If you'd like to buy tickets, let's go through the ticketing. So now I'm going to be reading here. So I personally paid because I went for the first night. I went on the first night. So they had a discounted ticket for $19.97. But of course there's fees and taxes and all that. So the final total is $26.48. So now when I go through the rest of the ticketing, please remember that there's going to be a few bucks added on to that ticketing price. For general admission, their prices are $34.95 all the way through $39.95. And it depends on which nights you go. If you look at the calendars, there's teeth, and that means that's the discounted rate, so you can get a cheaper ticket. Mall of America employees, you guys are lucky. You get tickets for general admission at $27.96, and those are also on select dates, and I believe it's Wednesdays and Thursdays, but just double check the website. They have another option. It's the fast pass admission, and that just basically means you get to skip the line, and that goes between $49.95 and $59.95. And I can't give you a good estimate on wait times because I went the first night and I didn't wait too long. It was maybe like 15-20 minutes that I waited, which isn't too bad. And then Mall of America employees, for your fast pass price, it'll be $39.96 starting in October here. And then they also have a monster pass that is $70.90 through $99.90. That doesn't have any special discounted tickets or anything, but I'll tell you what that gets you. It will get you the fast pass. You get to discover secret rooms, meet unique characters, and it includes free drinks, and that has very limited availability. So you bought your ticket, and now you need to navigate the Mall of America to find the Onionhead's Revenge Haunt. So you can find it on the second floor on the southeast wing, and the best place to park is in the east ramp, and you can park in Indiana or Georgia. Those would be the best places to park. So here are my final thoughts on Onionhead's Revenge. If you are just getting into haunted experiences, then this might be perfect for you because it's for ages 10 and up. I didn't experience many jump scares, but I can't guarantee that you won't experience jump scares. It was the first night, and maybe they've upped the thrills. I had a lot of fun doing this, but this is definitely something that I love. I love Halloween. That's my favorite holiday, and I will take the chance to do anything Halloween. If you want a fun, spooky night out, then definitely check it out. Halloween is not only about spooks and haunts, it's also about sugar and fun. Continue to stay lost with me as we visit Opa Sweets, where cotton candy turns into edible masterpieces. Otherwise, let's get lost again soon.